It was her dad. Hey y'all, what's going on? So listen, I want to share a story with y'all that one of my loves sent me and shared with me. Um, let me go over here and get. Let's see if I can pull her name up. It's sad. Y'all can see from the title what it's about. But we will never understand. We'll never get it. I'll never understand. Normal people won't ever understand this type of balance, whether it's black, blue, green, or yellow. A normal human being will never understand this. It never. Oh, for my love, Jack. I'm gonna just say. Is this shit at cutting up food? What the hell? Anyway, basically, the gist of it, and thank you for sharing that with me. Y'all know if you want to share something with me, you can email me, muchlovefromky@gmail.com. Just be sure to give me the link so that I can go and check this, read the story and check it out and see what's going on. Basically, and the story's dated, as I look at it, is dated when they posted this, was... I believe it said on the 15th, I think. I'm thinking. Let me see. The date is January the 15th, 2015. Basically, one of the fathers of the dancing dolls killed in the shooting, as y'all can see from the title. Christal Summers was shot outside a Jackson gas station. And that is Christiana's dad. And last season, Christiana was kind of coming out of her shell a little bit and really stepping up and wanting to be, in the forefront and all of that. So it's just sad. It really is sad. It really is. And apparently what happened is that they were at a gas station and basically, let me make it small. I'm sorry, y'all. I want to make sure I give y'all the right information. And I am going to put the link below. I want to just, before it was shot, I want to make sure I'm absolutely positive that it was Christiana's dad. But I just want to make sure. I don't want to, say something like that and then, have somebody upset or whatever. Christal Summers. Yes, it was her dad. Now, last season, you remember she was kind of coming out of her shell and all of that and kind of going to the forefront and trying for, I believe it was co-captain or whatever. And, it's just really, really sad. So now, and well, let me say this. Basically, there was an altercation between him and some other gentleman, which ended in, gunfire. From the story, from what I got, was he was shot multiple times, as well as there was someone else who was shot, from what the story's saying. And he was, dead on arrival. And y'all, when I first seen the headline, it didn't say, at first I didn't see the name, and y'all, I'm gonna just be real. I was like, not that anybody being gone, but I was thinking when they said a dad to one of the children on a popular reality show, the Dancing Dolls, y'all know instantly I was thinking about, oh dude, y'all know my baby, the one, the girl, the lighter skinned girl. What is her name? Why can't I say her name right now? Y'all, I'm horrible with names. I always have been. Because he was always, he was on there a lot. So that was why I was thinking, oh Lord, But regardless, it doesn't matter. This is yet another child that has lost their dad. This is another man who has lost his life to bullshit. And I'm sure it was bullshit. I went on to read the comments on there. One gentleman came on and said that was his friend under the story. So be sure to read the comments. And I remember someone said that he would give people clothes and he would feed, the needy and all of these types of things. And it's just so sad. It's just, it's like it's never going to stop. So how are we going to say don't kill our men in our community? But here we got, the men in our community killing each other. And I just cannot wrap my head around that. I never will. I never will be able to understand that. So this, it's just sad. It's hurtful. And like I always say, when it comes to children, they all are children. So if one's hurt, you get what I'm saying? We all hurt. You get what I mean? Like, I cannot imagine, what his family's going through, his daughter, and my condolences to the family. But when is it going to stop? Is there, I just, and I'm sick of saying it. I'm sick of saying the same thing. And it just seems like, no matter what you say, no matter how people try, no matter what, you're going to always have, these folks acting out like this and doing, horrible things like this. It used to be one bad apple don't spoil the bunch, but here lately it's been a motherfucking whole basket full of nothing but bad apples. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get it. And y'all, I'm just doing natural light, so it might be a little dark. I don't get it. I never will. And it's just so sad. And I'm so sorry for the families lost. On another note, I was just reading a story because I was actually going to kind of try to talk about some shit that's in the news. When I didn't talk about what was going on in Paris and all of that, as it was going, like, it just drained the life of me. What is that, powder? It just drained the life out of me. It really did. And I am really serious, y'all. Like, I get extremely emotional. And, like, it's just, and sometimes people will be like, including my family, you don't even know these people. You know what I'm saying? But yet you are boo-hooing like hell. But I don't have to know them personally to know that they are human beings that were killed merely because of what another motherfucker thinks about them. Like, it is the most ridiculous thing. And I can go beyond that. I'm so sick of hearing people, being happy to kill in the name of God. And that's not, my understanding of the Father. You know what I mean? Like, I can't, another thing I can't wrap my head around. How can you say that you're doing something for religion, but then I understand it because religion is something completely different to me, just, than truly, following, the Father and the Lord and everything. It's like people pick and choose what they want, you know what I mean? What they want out of that. You know what I'm saying? Not really being Christian like, or even trying to even be God-like or whatever. With that being said, I'm sure somebody said, well, you smoke and you cuss. Yes, I do, honey. Yes, I do. But I still believe in him wholeheartedly. And for people to do this in the name of, how many motherfucking virgins do they think is waiting on them? Solely because this person does not believe in what you believe, they gotta die. I was sent a story the other day, and I had to stop reading it in mid-story because it was a man that had been by ISIS. He had been thrown over a cliff because he was gay. Apparently, I don't know what it is they are allowed to do. Like, I don't know what's okay and what's not okay, and I don't really care. It's a thing, and my understanding is, and when I say this, I am talking about the extremists. Please do not put me in the bucket with the people who feel like all Muslims are all whatever. In this case, Muslims are the same. I'm sorry. You're just not going to put me in that bucket. I am definitely talking about the extremists. Let's be clear. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is that they want to allow people to do, because I've read stories where, one where the woman, one woman had like one or two hairs that slid out of her hijab or whatever, was an accident, and she was, flogged and okay. Clearly that was an accident, so basically it's a dictatorship, of course, but so there's no room for error. Even if she's adhering to her religion and she is more than happy to wear her hijab, there's no accident. There's just no room for error. Somehow you become superhuman, and things something as simple as a strand of hair, which for the life of me, nobody is going to make me understand why hair is so fucking sexy. Why does hair induce sexual? What does the hair do, honey? Wait a minute, because I was going through some. Let me see. I got my regular little box over here of my hair, and I have like 3 wigs that I have in it that are my regulars. Now this is, y'all, she just dried right now, and I need to put a little something on her. But is this, what kind of sexual thing is this? It's like her is sexual. And with that being said, something as simple as your wrist, not even going into, showing the silhouette, you know what I'm saying? Because she still got a vagina even under all that. I'm just saying. But something as simple as your wrist, I won't even go up that. That would cause somebody to want to kill and flog a woman just blows me out of the water. I don't get it. And I really don't get folks that are born over here, are born and bred over here, and somehow they choose to change or whatever. Here's my whole theory. Why don't you just go over there and practice that? And we don't want you anyway. If that's what you want to do. You enjoyed the freedoms for so long, and then somebody tells you something happened to somebody else in some kind of way that just brings something up in you, and now you got to cut a fool, and you know what I'm saying, and do that silly shit. I believe everybody has the right to believe in what they want to believe in, but what I disagree with is when you say, if you don't believe what I believe, I got to kill you. Where? You get what I'm saying? Like, where was that at? When is that okay? With that being said, and since I brought that up, I might as well bring the funk ass Catholics up. See, I don't discriminate. Certain Catholics, how about that? And I shared the story on the Much Love page, and I will be sure to put that below. I try to skate away from them because I know that I do have some loves that follow Catholicism and that type of thing, but they don't get, totally offended because it's kind of like, well, that's her opinion, but that's my faith or whatever. I'm just giving my opinion on it, just kind of showing some of the nastiness that goes on in the Vatican way back in the day and some of the shit that the nuns was doing. And I have told y'all time and time again, find this movie, The Magdalene Sisters. Please find that movie. I won't even dabble in the ass raping fathers, the priests. Green tea. I won't, you know what I mean? I won't even get in them because I've already discussed them before. But that whole thing, since we gonna talk about one thing, we're gonna talk about another, and that kind of brings me also to another one. The Pope went to the Philippines and they were rounding up children before he came, so that they wouldn't ask him for things or whatever. First of all, they were already locking children up anyway in the Philippines. They had one child that was, a lot of them was on the poles, hooked to the poles and things, and one that was so emaciated and had basically been there and starved like an animal, like some people would put an animal on a tree or some shit like that. I can't quite understand that. But okay, we'll move forward. Especially, okay, see, I was getting ready to get real fucking angry right then. So he doesn't see this type of poverty and this and that and other. We're going to hide them and we're going to put these children and locked him up. They all up in arms because he's coming. Lord, when y'all get the news that he ain't nowhere next to God, I don't know. But we're going to move forward. Yeah. And then there was the story, again, going to them, the preparations for him to come. A lot of people were told, as well as officers and things, to wear diapers because they will be out there a while and they may have to shit or piss, and they can't move because they have to protect him. They're so elated that he's coming, and clearly he's coming with the 4 horsemen with him and the rest of them. I'm just trying to understand, because the way they talking and preparing is as if Jesus is, it's Jesus coming, and I'm still trying to understand what the pontiff does. I do clearly understand, but I don't know how they came up with that, but we're going to move forward. We definitely going to move forward, because that's some of the most idiotic shit I have ever heard in my life that stands close to the extremists, like they neck and neck. It's the most idiotic shit that I have ever heard in my life. And I have always felt like they were borderline a cult. And if not a cult, damn sure heavy in masonry and the rest of that shit for those that get in. But I'm going to keep on keeping my eyes on the Lord. I know that I'm a sinner. I know that I fall totally short. I know that it will only be God's mercy. I know that it is only the blood of Jesus, okay? I don't feel like before I go and talk to them, I need to stop by the Pope to get him to prepare them for me. No. Ain't nothing you can do for me, boo-boo. I might tell you to get the gown off and stop telling people you can forgive them for doing something to somebody else. Let's move forward. Let's please move forward, because and after that, y'all see, this is why I can't with them. I get all the way twisted up, because it'll take me to the fact that I don't quite understand, and I don't. And I have asked this question before, why they are still, well, I guess they still call her the Holy Blessed Mother, Virgin Mother, because, she did conceive Jesus of the Holy Spirit and that type of thing, and hadn't had sex. But then when she left, Joseph after she had Jesus, Joseph knew her. So I don't know that she went away from her a virgin, but we'll move forward. And y'all, like I've said, my dad's a Catholic, honey, and I just stopped debating it with him, because but just, yeah, I'm on one right now, just kind of going in line with the extremists, and how I feel like in some ways Catholicism is extremist as well, because things like, if your husband, they don't, there's no such thing as divorce, and I'm not saying that's a good thing, but even if you getting your ass beat, and this motherfucker is burning you with hot pokers, you're not leaving. You don't leave. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. And I can't get with something that tries to, okay, we're going to get off it, because then I'm going to get into abortions and vaginas. So let's move forward. And y'all, these are my opinions and how I feel. It's not necessarily that I'm saying that to offend anyone who is, of, Catholic faith or whatever, but those are my opinions and how I feel about it. I feel really strongly about it. I think I began to feel strongly about them as more and more people came out to talk about the rapings. And then when I seen the Magdalene sisters and just the nastiness that had went on, and that this is a true story, and these things went on, the fathers and the nuns, it just behooves me. With that being said, long before the Borgias came on, honey, I knew about the very first crime family ever, honey, incest and everything going on. Because Lucretia, it was said, now see, there I go. It was said that her child could have been by her brothers, by maybe her husband, a stable boy, or even her daddy's a pope. Let's move forward. All right. Okay. Much Love is a history buff. Some folks may not, think, well, Much Love just be cussing. Like, I got a comment where this young lady said, and she had a right to a comment, and I don't feel any type of way towards her was, I liked it, but then you said bitch too much. I get that. But I don't know how many times I can say this is my channel. And I do understand. I'm not for everybody. You know what I mean? You're not going to like everything everybody does on YouTube. But I don't know. I say all that to say this. Some people get it twisted and say, oh, well, she's cussing all the time and this and that and other. Clearly, she can't have any education or anything like that, and you may have it twisted. It's just at this point in my life, I ain't trying to sugarcoat shit for you or nobody else, honey. I don't have the time. You want to be coddled? Get it somewhere else, because I ain't got it for you. When I'm trying to talk about certain things, sometimes I have to, all the time I have to be me. And I do realize that sometimes I do need to pull it back, because I have went back and looked at some of my videos and been like, damn, and I've had my husband to say, do you know how many times you said, and it resonates and it sits at home with me a lot. But I'm going to still do me, regardless. But I don't feel, I'm in a way, I'm kind of grateful for those comments, especially when they come that way. Because I truly do value that person's opinion, and I do understand where they're coming from. You know what I'm saying? So, to say all of that, sometimes I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna be me regardless, but instead of 50 bitches, there may only be 10. I don't know. It just depends on how I'm feeling. And yes, this is just random and just a gumbo of stuff. I know it started with one thing, and here we are with another. Okay, going on into this other story I want to talk about and share that, has troubled me. It's a couple of stories, but this one really troubled me. It is a young child who was put into foster care. And apparently it's alleged that she committed suicide with a jump rope and hung herself from the bed. And I'm still trying to figure that out when I look at the baby's height, and I'm still trying to figure that out. The child had been taken from the mother because of drugs and this and that and other. Because instantly I'm like, the family is saying, no, she was murdered, this and that and other, and so passionate, and this and that and other about this. And of course, like anybody else, I instantly go to, well, how passionate was you on keeping her? What was you doing? You know what I mean? She's been taken out of the home. Apparently the mother was doing drugs or whatever the case may be. And I just found myself conflicted. I do agree with them. I think that there's some foul play, because they did say that there was some blood on the bed. There were other people in the home. They did take the license away from the person who has the foster home. They have no comment. But they are calling it a death, but they still investigating, because her family feels as if she was killed. And I'm not sure, but I think there could be some validity to that. But on the flip side, and as they begin to talk, and her sister said, I know my sister made some mistakes, but they took her out of a loving and caring home. Baby, it couldn't have been that. Now, her mama may have loved her, but this is where I get fucked up. And I know that people make mistakes, and we are human. The passion that you had then, maybe, have the same passion trying to get your sister off of it. Or with that being said, maybe step in, and maybe if you can get the child yourself. I don't know her circumstances or whatever, but I'm thinking about all of these things. You cannot assume to know. If you have not been addicted to drugs or something like that, you cannot fully know. You may have family members and you may have seen them do certain things or whatever, but still, you can only speak from the point of the family member to the drug user. You know what I'm saying? You don't fully know what they thinking or what their thought process is, other than I just need this dope. And it is a sickness, because under normal circumstances, a person would not be willing to lose their child just to get this high. So we know that it is a sickness. But on the flip side, I still have to think, when does getting high become more important than your child? And again, that goes back to what I just said. So, you pissed on both ends. I'm sort of like looking at them like, okay, well, where were y'all before this? You get what I'm saying? Like, can I really have any sympathy for y'all? All of my sympathy goes to this child who is gone. And if in the end she end up committing suicide, that's just as bad. Because what could she have been going? What was she going through? What had she had to endure? I can't imagine. For it to get that desperate for a child. And y'all know kids are so hopeful. You know what I mean? As you get older, you begin to look at children and you see that just hope and all of that in them, that as we get older, we begin to lose a little bit of that. The excitement and the newness of everything and the thinking everything's going to be okay and this and that and other. As you get older, you begin to realize that, it ain't necessarily that it's okay. It's just that I done learned how to weather the storm. You know what I mean? In the beginning, it was going to be okay. And as you get older, you realize, things happen. What could she have been going through to be just either way? It's just horrible for the child, and I will get that link leave it below because I do have that one, and of course the one for the father of Christiana. It's another story. It's a couple of stories I wanted to talk about. There's the one where the man threw his child over the bridge. You know what? That motherfucker right there makes me want to come up out my skin. But even more so than that sack of shit son of a bitch, you drove your child with her. Now imagine this. Nothing in her mind is making her think that her daddy's about to hurt her. I throw her off the bridge. It's just I'm going along because she don't have no other choice. She's a child at the mercy of a fucked up ass daddy. And he throws her off the bridge. Okay, that's what I'm going to say about that. That's what I'm going to say about that before I be just all the way gone. And I'm sure y'all seen that's the most horrific shit I've ever seen. And why is it that people want to, the first thing they want to think to do is hurt the child because we know that this is going to hurt the other person. I don't know why he did what he did. However, I do know he's a sick bastard and his ass should be just, I don't know the scenario. I don't know exactly how far they need to go. They need to go as far as they want to with him. Like, I'm really okay with them doing anything to him. I really am. So, whatever, fuck him. Then there was another story I seen where I believe it was a mother that had her baby, and I believe, however, it was mother, dad, whatever, threw the baby in the middle of the street, had the baby in the middle of the street, and lit the baby on fire. Now, here I am again, get ready to tell y'all. For those who don't believe that there is a heaven or a hell, or there's demons and things like that, baby, nothing in this world will make a normal human being do some shit like that. And I'm so fucking tired of hearing motherfuckers say, well, they snapped. And then when they came to, no, bitch, you was fucked up from minute one. You couldn't just hand a baby to somebody else and say, I can't. I mean, and what fucks me up is not that it's okay the dads do it. A bitch who will beat and carry her baby, for all the bitches who, especially them bitches, them funky bitches, that will, where's Bougie? That will, cause they get mad at the man, fuck their child up because he don't want them. Like, you funky bitches, you motherfuckers. Ooh. I just want to dig your motherfucking eyeballs out. You carry the baby. All of that. Ain't no mother wit kicked up in your ass. No love, no nothing, bitch. Mm-mm. Like, I know it's other mothers and dads or whatever, but I'm, right now speaking to mothers, like, if you think your child is remotely in harm's way, there's this fucked up shit. Even if you know they're in another room and some shit go past your head or some shit, it sends cringes through you because to even think that anything is happening to your child, and it never ends. It goes on until you leave this earth. You even remotely think something's wrong with them, it fucks you up. And I'm wondering where these empty ass bitches, these empty, dick thirsty, love deprived whores come from. I don't know, y'all. And this was supposed to be about one thing, and here we are into another. And right now, like, I just feel so down right now, and I'm serious. And this is why I be like, Lord, I have to try to distance myself. But then I feel like if I don't talk about what's going on in this fucking world, that reality shit's cute, and I've said it, then I feel like I'm not, again, being myself, so I have to. But then on the flip side, and I don't know why the fuck I feel this way, just so emotional. And Brittany is at a rave in there or something. It's just, I don't know if she's voguing or what, but I get so vested, and I physically like hurt. Like, I just don't know how to explain it. And again, I do this when I talk to people, or people come in the room, or they don't even have to be the sad shit or some shit like this. I've just always been this way. Sometimes it's hard for me to even cut my damn head off. You know what I mean? Like, not cut my head off, but come on. My mind, because it's always going. It never stops. Ever. But after I cut this video off, I'm going to be in the fucking dumps because I'm already in it. He's off today. So he takes advantage of the 4-day weekends, okay? But I don't know. And I planned on doing a video on my other channel because I wanted to I just going through some boxes of makeup I had or whatever. And I'm about to do a huge purge because I love makeup, but man, how many colors? Same color can you have? But I was going to finally just dabble in some palettes that I just maybe did one look with and didn't look back at it because I wanted to start like a series of just using what I have. Because I just don't think there's a need. At this point, it's kind of like I just want to, I love makeup, want to put it on, but I don't know about, buying any other makeup other than mascara and lipstick. You know what I'm saying? And eyeliner and stuff. And yes, it does get old, and you do, with eyeshadows and things, you do have to get rid of them, foundations or whatever. But I'm at this point where I'm trying to work on like my skin, where I would have it clear, where I can only use like a translucent powder and just have, the eye makeup on. Because I believe that you should have a good canvas. It shakes me, and I know that everybody's skin is different because I had 1 or 2 moments in my teenage year where I had a little acne or whatever. But for the most part, and this is where they would end up being on my chin, but I would get like the period bump or whatever. But whenever I see young ladies and their skin, I don't know. And I know everybody's skin is different. And my mother was saying to me, like, you don't have that acne scarring and this type of thing. But I do have some scarring, but not to that extreme, because I was telling her, I was like, it just fucks with me when I see a young lady, 20, and her skin is so fucked. And I'm like, what the fuck? My mother had to get me together. Like, honey, you will never. You know what I mean? And it's not that I'm just always like, what the fuck? And I guess I'm like that because I'm thinking about my shit, but everybody's not the same. And I'm so glad I have my mother to like rein my ass in, because I don't mean any harm by that, but I don't understand it. I'm thinking more so than finding the best coverage foundation that will cover everything, maybe a good skin regimen. You know what I mean? To try to see what you can do to take care of that. So, anywho, y'all, I went off in some other shit. Y'all leave y'all thoughts. I'm going to leave as many links as I can below. Just, give me y'all thoughts and all of that. So, I'm out of here, y'all. Much love. I'm going to talk about love and hip hop later on. And y'all know they took now I'm gonna tell y'all what she's doing. She's playing some shit on that damn PlayStation Live shit. Anywho, they took sorority sisters off. So and I kind of feel some way about that. I really do. I really do. And I guess I don't know. I feel some kind of way about that. But whatever. So I'm out of here, y'all.